Hi, this is Rick Larsen with Facebook Live here on Friday. I'm out in front of Everett High School today and maintaining appropriate social distance from people. But I wanted to take this Facebook Live event opportunity to get you updated on a few things. First thing is that we are continuing to try to do a lot of outreach through social media platforms, and if you're interested in signing up for email alerts to know when events are going to happen, please share this with your friends. It's at ricklarsen.org, and you can go there to sign up for email updates and share that website with folks in order to get the word out that we're still chugging along here in the Rick Larsen campaign. So I want to move to the update. Clearly, with COVID-19 and this pandemic, we are in a public health emergency. But today I wanted to focus on the economic emergency that we are in the middle of as well, and some of the help that is available. And then I'll move to some questions that we got ahead of time. The first thing I want to highlight for folks is that the IRS is now sending out direct deposit payments as part of the economic impact payment portion of the CARES Act, which we passed a few weeks back. So if you're making $75,000 or less, you will get a $1,200 check or a direct deposit, and if you're making $150,000 or less, as if you file jointly with a spouse or partner, then you'll get a $2,400 check. In addition, you will get $500 for each child who's 16 and under. So those direct deposits are going out right now, and for those people who do not have direct deposit information with the IRS, you can go to the irs.gov website to sign up to ensure that to put in your direct deposit information. In the last couple days, we've heard about some hiccups, some challenges with that. I want to let folks know the IRS is updating, doing updates to this web portal every day, and so we were able to get information back to people who asked us what was going on because it wasn't working. Some of those folks have now been successful in getting their direct deposit information into the IRS and will be getting their direct deposits. Now, if you don't have that information or you don't file, you can go to irs.gov to put that information in. And if you still don't have that information, paper checks start going out around May 4th, so that's in about 3 weeks or so. The next thing I want to highlight for folks is the employment security. The Employment Security Department will roll out on Saturday, tomorrow, their website so people can sign up for the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, or PUA. Pandemic Unemployment Assistance is the unemployment insurance available for people who are part-time workers, self-employed, or independent contractors, people who haven't been paying into the state unemployment insurance system. So that will start tomorrow. You can do 4 things to help yourself get ready for that. First off, sign up for the email alerts, for the COVID-19 email alerts on the Employment Security Department website. The second thing, just referring to my my notes here, is go through the eligibility checklist that is on the website as well to figure out if you're eligible. A third is to download the information to get your materials ready, to help you get your materials ready to sign up. And then, of course, finally is obviously to sign up. That is going to be tomorrow. It'll go live probably in the later part of the day on the 18th. But again, this is for folks who weren't paying into unemployment insurance for the state. That federal pandemic unemployment assistance starts tomorrow. Finally, the third thing I want to point out for folks is the Paycheck Protection Program. This is the program the SBA, Small Business Administration, created with lenders to help small businesses pay for payroll and rent and utilities. That program right now is oversubscribed. We approved $350 billion, and all that money now is obligated. So Congress has to get back into session soon in order to not only address the issues with the Paycheck Protection Program, but also with our hospitals, to help our hospitals with more additional dollars, and our state and local governments, and to help people with SNAP benefits. So try to deal with this as a package, but clearly to help our small businesses with more money into the Paycheck Protection Program. And there have been very successful examples in the district of people getting their loans, including a company that's as small as a 3 or 4 person shop that got a $25,000 loan, and I've talked to a larger company that got something in the over $1 million loan. So small businesses with lots of revenue, with a little revenue, are all getting help, but we need to do better on that program as well. Finally, let me turn to some of the questions that I got in preparation for Facebook Live. The first one is, low-income seniors who don't make enough to file taxes often don't have computer access. How will they get their checks? If you are not able to get your direct deposit information online to the IRS.gov portal, paper checks will be sent out starting around May 4th, so in about 3 or 4 weeks. So you will be getting a check. This program will not run out of money. It is good through the rest of the year, but you will be getting a check if you are not otherwise signed up on direct deposit. Second question, rumor is rife on the internet. Well, I already know it's not true because it's on the internet, but rumor is rife on the internet that $1,200 stimulus payments will have to be paid back from future tax refunds and monthly Social Security payments. Is this true? Emphatically, no, it is not true. In fact, the IRS sent out a circular, a bulletin yesterday to state just that, because that rumor is out there. This $1,200 is not being deducted from future refunds. It is not being deducted from Social Security payments, and it is not taxable. So the money you get through this is not taxable under federal tax, under federal income tax. A third question, I read that according to Representative Adam Schiff, a good friend of mine, Adam and I came in 2000 together, we're in the same class in Congress. Russia is still interfering with our elections, and Trump is covering it up again. What can be done to secure this election, and should we get national vote by mail? Let me take that in reverse order. I support national vote by mail. Washington State is vote by mail. It works very well. Low incidence of fraud, high incidence of participation. It'll be very difficult to get a national vote by mail, though, but I do support it. And I also encourage people, though, to support the Voting Rights Advancement Act of 2019. This is a lot more than vote by mail. It is a lot more to protect our elections than just dealing with vote by mail. With regards to interference, I want to assure you that the mechanisms are in place currently and are being exercised right now through our Department of Homeland Security and our Department of Defense when it deals with actions taken outside of the United States to have a persistent presence to track down potential interference in our elections this year. So there's a lot more to go into, a lot of detail about that, but we are being very active still in not just dealing with potential Russian interference in our elections, but interference by other foreign actors. Is there anything that can be done to stop Trump from privatizing our U.S. Postal Service? Yes, elected Democrat to the presidency, first off. Second, we need to work hard to include in the next CARES Act additional dollars for the Postal Service to give them an infusion of cash. The third thing we need to do is repeal the prepaid benefit obligation the Postal Service has as well for all of our workers, and that's all the postal workers, and that's an important action we need to take. The President will not be successful in privatizing the U.S. Postal Service. We will continue to defend the U.S. Postal Service because it's in the Constitution and because it works. Finally, when do you anticipate us getting back to normal? The person says getting back to normal with regard to letting some, if not all, of current, quote, non-essential businesses get back to work. That's really a question for the governor's office. Governor Inslee has put in place a stay home, stay healthy order, which has been largely successful, and people taking their time outside to exercise, walk their dogs like they are doing in Everett today. But most folks are staying home, staying healthy, but it has a huge impact on our economy. So the governor's office is looking at a variety of things. There are some steps we need to do. We need to expand testing. The more testing we can do, the more idea we'll have of where COVID-19 is, who has it, and then we can move away from this collective stay-at-home, stay-healthy order, and then do much more targeted quarantining of people who are truly who are showing symptoms of COVID-19. We need to do antibody testing to find out who's had COVID-19 and maybe we didn't know, so that we can identify those folks who then might be able to just go about their business because the likelihood of getting again is really low. The other thing that we ought to be looking at is a rolling opening, a rolling restoration of our economy. So it won't be flipping a switch and everybody going back to work. We're going to have to look at what jobs can go back to work in a way that's socially distant and socially safe, a socially distant, safe way, and then move from there. But that question is really with the governor's office, and I can assure you Governor Inslee's team is taking a hard look at that, and we do a weekly call. That is, the Washington State delegation does a weekly call with the governor, and this is one of the top issues that we discuss. So finally, I want to encourage everyone to go to the Department of Health website. That's doh.wa.gov for the latest information on testing in our state, on hospitalizations, on how COVID-19 is impacting the public health system, and what we're doing as a state to take action against it. And then again, for this weekend, esd.wa.gov is where you should go if you're looking to sign up for for pandemic unemployment assistance. So with that, thank you very much for tuning in to Facebook Live, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.